Hello there, I'm Julie. Thanks so much for joining me today as I flip through my creative journal for 2026. Yes, you did hear me right. I said 2026, not 2025. I'll explain more about that in a moment. This is the storybook journal from Archer and Olive, which I fell in love with as soon as I saw it. It was my first Archer and Olive purchase, and of course since then I've bought a couple more. I haven't actually done anything with my name page. I have a bit of a habit of not filling in the name page. I usually just add sticky letters rather than handwrite my name. I've seen lately that a few people are decorating this page, so that's something I may do. But here is effectively my title page for this journal, and I will just pop something under here so you can see the pages properly as I do the flip through. One of the things I find really difficult about creative journaling is that I love creating the pages, but I'm not so good when it comes to writing in them. So last year I had what I thought was a genius idea of setting up my 2026 planner already, maybe just leaving one spread a month to complete, so that it would be all ready for me to fill in. However, things didn't quite go to plan, and what you're going to see today is about half of this journal complete, and you'll see me creating pages for the rest of it throughout the year. I left these 2 pages at the beginning because I wasn't sure if I was going to have a word of the year. In the end, I decided not to have a word of the year. I'll link the video on screen which explains why, and I'll show you a little bit later what I'm doing instead. I come from a card making and scrapbooking background, so a lot of the things you'll see in here are things that I've done in my scrapbooks. And I've really enjoyed making all sorts of Dutch door pages, window pages and tab pages in this journal. Here I used scrapbook paper as a background, then some Plaything washi to section it off. These snow globes were from Let's Plan with Sarah Co on Etsy. You'll be seeing more of those as I flip through January. I have a big scrapbooking stash, so I had these snowy stickers from a snowman set, the movie The Snowman, and this beautiful large sticker is from Casthetic Plans. Because I wasn't doing a word of the year page, what I thought I would do is just some general boxes with goals, important, get it done and remember, and this lettering came from Functionally Noir from Live Love Posh. Really love this start to my journal, it's so beautiful. Here are my currently pages. Prior to having this journal, I was using a classic vertical happy planner, and I have made currently pages for several years, and what I have a tendency to do is, rather than use boxes, is to try and think of some sort of shaped box that I can use for the currently prompts. So all my currently pages are a little bit unique. I'm really trying to use my sticker and scrapbook stash this year. So I used a lot of different sticker shops for this page. I will link all the shops I mentioned in the video description, along with my affiliate codes to save you money if you're shopping. I really appreciate it when you use those links or codes. It helps out my channel at no extra cost to you. I continued with the snow globe theme, using the snow globes for my currently prompts and also to make this little Dutch door here. I also did hand lettering for the January. I'm not very confident about drawing or writing in my planner, but I'm always telling people you should give it a go. So I had a go. I wanted to have this little snow-capped letter effect, and I didn't have anything like that in my stash, and I think it looks fine. It's not perfectly spaced, which as a perfectionist bothers me a little bit, but overall I think these pages are lovely. The next couple of pages are one of the few that I don't have a video for. I really loved using the Evergreen sticker book from Casthetic Plans to create this beautiful mountain wilderness scene. One of the things I'm not very fond of with Dutch doors is having exactly the same images on both sides. So I have a tendency to change things up because I don't want every page to look exactly the same. However, I couldn't think of what stickers I could put in this box to go with this scene. So in the end, I grabbed some alphabet stickers from Plaything and simply put the word snowy and added some snowflakes. One of the things I found restricting when I used the Happy Planner vertical layout as my creative journal was the size of the boxes, and also the whole Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing. I don't lead a particularly busy life, but I usually have a few things each week that are memorable or that I want to write about. So I don't want to be tied to having to write something on a Monday and a Tuesday and a Wednesday. And I also don't want to run out of space when I'm in the middle of telling a story. So I love the freedom of using these highlighter lines, because then I can write as much as I want about a particular incident. If I want to write about one thing that happened in that week, I can fill up the whole space with that. Or I can do little paragraphs on different things during the week, whatever I feel like. So I'm really looking forward to using this journal this year. These were actually Mr. Pen highlighters. I got some new ones for Christmas, and rather than use the same colour, I alternated two colours and really love that effect. For this Dutch door, I didn't cut all the way to the edge, as you can see, because I did not want the snow globes to show. That's another thing that bothers me about the Dutch door page. When you turn the page, what's going to show on the edge? So you can see what I did was continue the seam here, so it doesn't actually look like the page is cut until you actually turn the page. If you haven't heard of Cassthetic Plans, I am an affiliate for Cassie, and a couple of the things I love about her sticker books, apart from all these beautiful, beautiful images, are one, she has these pages where all the stickers are clustered together. So I didn't actually build this little seam with the boxes and the overlap. That was already in the sticker book, one huge sticker that I could just pull out and add to the page. Seeing Cassie's clusters has really helped me up my clustering game and do a lot more clustering of stickers in my journal. The other thing that Cassie has a lot of, which I used on this page, are these little swatches of colour that you can use for layering behind stickers. In this case, I used them to create a little snowy ground effect. I think these pages are absolutely stunning. I almost don't want to write in them, but I'm going to. Next, we have a complete change of scene for National Sticker Day week. This one was a video. Originally, I had the idea of making these little sticker book flips that I could write in. Then I didn't really know what to do with the rest of the page. It looked a bit blank, so I added all these little discs behind from Happy Planner. And then again, in a bid to use up my stickers, I created this sticker explosion for National Sticker Day, and I really think it looks gorgeous. I was really happy with this spread. These are some pages that I made last year, and in that video I talked about how I had this snowy acetate for my card making stash, and I wanted to see how it would work in my journal with some window pages. So the idea I had was to do a cozy indoor scene, and then outside the window you could see the snow falling and a snowy scene, and then you could turn the page and you'd have the outside and then the girl inside with a cozy fire curled up in a chair. Just super, super pretty. And this is the page that I'm going to have at the end of every month, which is a review page. And this is what I decided to do this year instead of having a word of the year. I want to get a little bit more reflective about each month, rather than having a word of the year that I'm all gung-ho about at the start of the year and then completely forget about as the months go by. This, I hope, is going to keep me on track. It's a little bit like the Happy Planner guided journals with the prompts, but I've never been all that keen on the prompts that they use or having the same prompts all the time. So I have created my own prompts on label paper. So things like, what did you accomplish this month? What was something you did that you had procrastinated about, because I am a big procrastinator? What made you happy? What did you struggle with? How well did you take care of yourself? Because I want to get a little bit better with self-care this year. And then I want to have some sort of goal or something I'm working towards each month. So I've got, what one thing would you like to work on next month, and then steps to make it happen. and other reflections. I also am going to have this in the news section every single month, because I used to do that on my Currently page, but as I only had a small box to write in and there's quite a lot of news, not necessarily from the UK, but a lot of it from the US at the moment, I wanted to have plenty of room to write in. I also want to use my floral stickers more this year, so I thought this is a perfect way to use 12 sets of floral stickers throughout the year rather than leave them sitting in the sticker book on the shelf. So I'm really excited about having this page in my journal this year. On to February, and this was actually the first spread that I made in this journal. I was so excited when I got it, and I was just starting to experiment with some Dutch door pages, and I had these glittered hearts in my scrapbooking stash. I think they were from an Amy Tangerine sheet, and I thought, what a nice easy way to do a Dutch door page. Have these hearts and I can stick the other hearts on the back and they'll match, and I don't have to think too hard about what I'm going to do on the reverse side. This month I use love letters, of course, for the Currently prompts. And in case you're wondering where I'm getting all these Currently stickers from, they come from Mojo Jojo Plans' Currently sticker book. So useful. I did used to make my own and print them on label paper, but I'm loving just being able to go to Jojo's book and pick out the ones that I want. There are lots and lots of different prompts, lots of different fonts, and she has recently brought out a 2.0 version, which you can get not only in black but rainbow. These are Live Love Posh stickers from Retro Holidays, I believe one of my favourite sticker books. But again, this Plan With Me video is up on my channel. That's all I've done for February. I left this page. So you'll be seeing me create some fun February pages not too long from now. I've already had an idea for a whole year of a window page that I want to create. So that will probably be a video coming up definitely before Valentine's Day. So look out for that. In case you're wondering how I organised the pages, I wrote in the corner exactly what each page was for. So I had to do a little bit of maths before I started. I calculated that there were enough pages, obviously, for me to have a double page for each week. Also to have a monthly and currently page and a review page, which left me with a page at the beginning and a page at the end, which is perfect for a word of the year or a title page as I used it for, and a yearly roundup at the end of the year. So this 8x8, I think it's a 160 page journal, was just absolutely perfect. The only thing I would have liked was maybe 12 more pages, or it doesn't even have to be 12, but enough pages for me to do my monthly sticker hunts. So this year I am going to be continuing to do my sticker hunts in the Happy Planner monthly layout rather than have them in here, but that's worked out fine because I'm putting them all together in a special sticker hunt folder, and then I can find them and flip through them nice and easily when it comes time to do those videos. This was such a fun one. I'd done something like this before in an old planner spread where I made the coins out of the planner discs, and I really wanted to use that idea again. I'm very much one for looking back at my planners and getting inspiration from old spreads and repeating things that I really enjoyed. I used one of my card making punches to create this little pretty effect on the border, and more stickers from Retro Holidays Live Love Posh. In this video, I remember I had a disaster with some rub-ons because I'd used rub-ons for February and thought I was going to use them throughout this journal, but unfortunately the rub-ons didn't work properly. So what I used instead was a stencil, and I had to do a little repair job and stick this over the top. I was a little bit upset at the time, but nobody would know if I didn't tell them the story. These were some fun stickers from an American Crafts sticker book, and again they were just the perfect shape to use for a Dutch door, and I did do a proper Dutch door with the images repeating for this page. I loved this rainbow scrapbook paper I had that I bought from Hobbycraft, a shop here in the UK, and it was just perfect for the whole March St Patrick's Day theme. I use these rainbow boxes from Mojo Jojo as well. I've actually done all of March in this journal. This was my first horizontal Dutch door spread in this journal, and I wanted to try out using punches to see how I could make them work in a journal. It was quite tricky. I had this beautiful white picket fence punch, but I couldn't make it go all the way to the end because of how the punches are. Let me just show you. These are the punches, so because of this bit I couldn't get the punch to go any closer to the edge. But that's all right because I had this brick washi from Planything, so it was kind of like a fence going next to a brick. I created this beautiful field of daffodils and I love that swing sticker. And then as we turn the page, we've got tulips and a windmill. It was also my first try at inking up a sky, and I got a little bit heavy-handed, as you can see, so it's a little bit patchy. I think I'm getting a little bit better with my inking pages now. You'll notice that these mild liner lines look very different from the January pages, and that's because initially I did what I'd seen other planners do, which is just draw the lines freehand and use the dot grid as a little bit of a guide. But I did not like this look. A couple of reasons. One, because the lines were not very straight, and I know at the end of the day it doesn't really notice too much, but it's that perfectionist in me coming out again. The other thing I didn't like about it was they were quite widely spaced, and I thought, well, I've got a lot less room for writing. Whether I write on the line and then in the space, I'm not really sure what I'll do when it comes to March, but you'll see that I change the way I do the lines as the planner goes on to actually using a ruler, which does take a lot more time, but means that I get the lines a lot closer together and can write a lot more. This was a very simple idea that took a long time to execute. I had this beautiful mermaid paper from Journal Say, and I thought, well, I can cut it and use it on the corners. And then I was like, what can I do with the rest of the spread? So I had these shell stickers, pre-cut pet tape, and I ended up going all the way round, although initially I was just going to do them at the bottom, but I got completely carried away and went all the way around. But it looks beautiful. I added these circles because I felt circles go really well with water theme spreads, and I have to say I don't like them at all. Whether I will stick a sticker over them, I don't know, but I wasn't happy with those. The reality is none of us love all our planner spreads. Everything doesn't go perfectly every single time. The rest of the spread is beautiful and you get to turn the page at the end of the week, so it really doesn't matter. So all I have left for that month is the review page. On to April. This was another recreation of a planner spread that I'd made with these gorgeous girls from Let's Plan with Sarah Co. and her umbrellas and raindrops and clouds. A couple of things I notice now looking back on this spread is that this washi has gone a little bit yellow. Some washies do go yellow with time, so it does show against the white of the pages, which is a little bit of a shame. Also, I used double-sided sticky tape on the back of this paper, and this was printed out from Sarah's printables onto, I think, regular photocopier paper, and I didn't know that this would happen, that the double-sided sticky tape has actually seeped into the paper and shows. Now luckily, I think because it's a rain themed spread, it doesn't look too out of place. I'm not sure whether you'd notice it if I didn't point it out, but I'm not going to cover it up or try to do something to fix it. I think because of the rainy theme, I can get away with it. For this particular Dutch door, I did what I did with the February heart page, and I didn't use a knife to cut around the shapes. I got the stickers and then stuck a sticker that was identical on the back. The only problem with that is I should have printed these out on card rather than paper, because even with the 2 layers they are quite flimsy. So just a tip, if you are going to do your Dutch doors that way, rather than stick the stickers on the top of the paper and cut round, you need to have something quite firm so that it will last. But I really do love these April pages. And my Dutch door page here is already set up for me to do this year. On to May now. More printable stickers from Let's Plan with Sarah, mostly because these had such simple shapes that I could use them for the Dutch door without any problems. I used scrapbook paper along the bottom for a ground and then drew the stalks and added the flowers to spell out May. And I had these shape stickers from Mojo Jojo that I thought would be really good to look like flowers for the Currently prompts. I think the butterflies were from Castetic Plans, but as I say, there are videos that you can watch to find out where I got everything from. So this one, I did the traditional Dutch door with the same flowers on the back and brought in some more of Sarah's girls. These are more summery girls, but I love them. Not my favourite, I have to say, mainly because of the lines. I have a feeling that I couldn't find mild liners to match, so I used Crayola Super Tips. I may be wrong about that. I need to go and watch the video. I think I did use a ruler and there was a little bit of smudging. They just don't look very good, the lines, but I could go over them maybe, but I'm going to leave them as it is. It was all a learning process, and if you're worried about starting Dutch doors or a journal, you can't expect to be super great at everything straight away. Even for me, who's been creating for years and years and years, I'm learning new things all the time and improving all the time through making mistakes. It's just what happens. Tab pages are not really my favourite, but they are nice and easy to do. So I created a whole set of tab pages using washi, but with different themes. So I can't remember, I think there is a special week this week that I wanted to do planner theme. I can't remember what it would be. Don't think it's National Planner Day, maybe Stationery Week or something like that, but I wanted to make it stationery themed, so I brought in all these fun stickers from Live Love Posh and some really pretty washi that I got from Oopsie-Daisy. Then I went into a bee theme spread. I'm pretty sure that this is National Bee Day or a bee day because that's why I've brought the bees in. I like to use the national holidays, even though I'm from the UK, as themes for my planner spreads, just to give me that starting point. More beautiful Live Love Posh stickers. And this one, again, Live Love Posh. I think I decided that I was going with Live Love Posh for a couple of those spreads. And I tried bringing in circles again. I'm not a big fan of circles. Maybe I need to remember that because the pages I like least in this journal are the ones with the circles on. I'm not a big fan of this page. On to June now, and I can see that I need to add a little bit more glue to make sure this sticks down. This was a Currently page I made a few years ago. Really loved it, but I had bright multicoloured rays. This time I decided to stick with the oranges and yellows and make it a full feature of that page. I can't write on every single one of the patterns because some of them are just a little bit busy, so I put the prompts on the ones that I thought I would be able to write more easily on. But I love this page. I did a whole set of Dutch door pages using Castetic Plans Desert Oasis, and I remember this being a long video and quite a big learning curve because of me being so fussy about having everything make sense and having something different on each page. I also brought in some quotes and some girls stickers from Doodle Diaries like this one that I wanted to use. So you can see that on this side we have these stickers, but on this side I did something a little bit different because I did not want exactly the same. So this one we had the tent, and I didn't want to have the tent on the back, so I put the cactus. So I don't know whether that makes them not technically Dutch doors, because you are supposed to have the same on the back if you're having Dutch doors, but I like to think outside of the box and I always do things my way. So I'm really happy with how these pages looked in the end. I wasn't sure, I remember, whether to start at the back and work this way or to start at the front, and I think I started with this page and worked back, and then when I did some more horizontal Dutch doors I did it the other way around, and it was easier to do that. So again, I'm learning an awful lot about what works and what doesn't, but these are really, really pretty pages. Very happy with those for the summer. July, I haven't got a currently page, so I will have at least one currently page to do this year. And then I went all tropical and beach themed with my July pages, with some pet tape from Doodle Diaries and houses from Planything. And you can see how I changed it up here. I think the idea was that this page I would show the bottom of the ocean, then this page would be more of the sea, and then the last page would be the shore. You can see I've got a little bit of the sea showing there because I couldn't quite make it work, but overall I'm really pleased with these pages. Only thing I didn't like was I used yellow on this page and I really don't like it, so again I may go over that and do something about that in future. But really liked having a theme for the whole month. That's why I repeated that from the previous month. So that's something I'm considering for next year. I've already got my next year's journal, and my plan was to be working on next year's journal so that it's ready in advance. But because I'm quite behind with this one, I don't know how much of it I'm going to get done, but we will try. On to August now. Absolutely love this page. I did the lettering myself for this one and it really turned out perfectly. I was very happy with it, and I even drew the watermelons myself to use for my currently boxes. This was from a Happy Planet sticker book, and these flowers were from a Live Love Posh sticker book, and I thought they combined really well. I was really proud of myself because these were some of my favourite stickers from that sticker book. It was a seasonal sticker book from Happy Planner, and I'm so happy I used them and get to see them in my planner rather than leave them in the sticker book. So pretty. There's a plan with me for this one if you'd like to see it. I haven't done all of August, so let's find where we go next. Next is September. These foxes were papers from Doodle Diaries, and because of the flowers in them I thought they were a lovely match for these florals from Live Love Posh, and I wanted to try window pages. I think this was my first window page that I created. I had a whole story going on about the foxes looking at each other, and I wanted to change the colour scheme. Like I say, I like to change that up, so this one was more embracing the pinks and reds, and then we changed to the browns and I added this little leaf border down the bottom for this page. It's really quite easy to make a window page. I do prefer window pages to tab pages, so you'll be seeing a lot of window pages from me in future, I think. But these images were so beautiful that they really make the page. It's a stunning page. Now, I haven't done anything in October. I was ill in October. I had all these plans to do these Halloween spreads, which are my favourite thing to make, and I didn't get anything done. So I'm very sad about that because I had it all planned out exactly what I was going to do. So at least I'll know what I'm doing when it comes to October next year. For these November pages, I wanted to get a bit more adventurous with my horizontal Dutch doors and do more shaped pages. So I made this little wood scene with the squad girls, park scene, because the good thing about the OG Squad Girl sticker books is the images are flipped, so I could have the girl and have her on the back as well, so I didn't have to worry about what sticker I was going to put on the back. You can see again I've made the page look a little bit different colour wise from this one, but still the same theme. I love these Squad Girl stickers so much. Finishing off with these Squad Girls and some much paler lines. Love it. Finishing with December, and I went with the obvious baubles for my currently page. I had a bit of a disaster when I was making the December and I smudged the pen, which I was very unhappy about. So now I'm a little bit wary about using Stabilo pens in my journal. These were my favourite set of stickers from the Live Love Posh Holly Jolly sticker book, I think. And I've been hoarding them for ages, but again, I'm really happy that I use them. So we have a little shaped Dutch door area here. And then on the back, I was able to use the same stickers because they were reversed in the book. I do find that this sticker keeps coming off here in the middle. I do cuts down the middle when I have anything overlapping, whether it's washi or stickers, but for some reason that does not want to stay stuck. So another Dutch door page here, and this was the last page of that theme. Really pretty, and I'm very happy to have my December pages done because I'm always so behind in December. I'm not going to have time for many Plan With Me videos, so the pressure is off me having to make any because all these pages are done. Although technically I should be working on next year's journal. Change of theme now with some Planny Thing and Doodle Diary stickers. In this video I was showing how you could make an acetate window without having snowy acetate, just using Happy Planner packaging. I cut this piece from the packaging that goes on the planners that they send, and I couldn't create the snowy acetate look, but what I could do was use clear stickers to add snowflakes. So I've still got that little effect of the snowflakes in the window looking out. And I wanted to go with another indoor-outdoor scene, so I had the girl inside with her cat and all the presents and the warm fire, and then on the other side the town. I got these houses from Journal Say, they are really lovely, and of course Father Christmas and his reindeer from a Planny Thing sticker book riding through the sky. I used ink on that page and I think it turned out okay. I was really happy with that. And all I have left, as I say, is the last week of December and first week of January. That's always tricky as to whether you finish that in this journal or you do it in your new journal. I'll probably have to do both. And then I have some review pages left and end of the year pages, and that takes me right to the end of the journal. I'm so happy I started on this creative journal journey. I've loved creating all these pages, although at times it's been frustrating. I'm so happy with how everything has turned out. I wanted to show you what I've done, even though it's not complete, because I'm not sure whether I will do a flip through at the end of the year when it's written in, because it's a little bit like what you would call a diary. That's what we have more of here in the UK. Planners and planning is not really a big thing over here. The diary is where you write your personal thoughts and reflections and feelings, and I want to not feel that I can't write honestly in this book, so I'll either not be showing it or I may be showing it with some of the writing covered up. We'll have to see. but that's why I wanted to show you all the pages that have been done so far. I really hope you've enjoyed seeing these pages and it's given you a few ideas or inspiration for you in your creative journal journey. If you like this sort of content, then do subscribe to my channel because there's going to be plenty more coming this year. And you can find the playlist where I have all the videos that I've filmed making this journal on screen now. So if you want to watch me create any of the pages that you've seen today, you'll be able to do that now. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great week and I look forward to seeing you join me again in another video really soon. Bye for now.